wonderful weather here at Portland. It's great to be in camp. We've had, in our estimation, a real good start our first 2 game days here. Really started back at Florham Park, where I think Rex said it yesterday, the onus was really on our players. They get to go home on a little bit of break on their own, and they took care of themselves. It was quite evident when they came back for conditioning. We had everybody pass our conditioning test. So that to us is a statement in itself, that they're taking care of business on their own. We feel that same type of accountability down at the grassroots level, at the player level, when we're here in camp. So it's a joy to be here and to really get the 2014 season rolling.
John, there seems like a lot of optimism around this team, and some of your players have said, we're a playoff team already. Are you okay with that? With guys saying we're a playoff team and having not played a preseason game?
There's a lot that goes into being a playoff team. There's a lot of road ahead, and to get to that level, you have to really focus on what's in front of you. You really have to stay in the moment, so to speak. So that's what will remain. But certainly, I'm okay with the optimism, the confidence. I think that's legitimate. That's born by what the guys have done. It's born by the type of people that we have in the locker room, on our staff, in the building. So it's. I should mention too, when I say staff, Rex and his staff preparing the players to go out on their own for a little bit. It's always a little bit disconcerting that you have the days leading up when the light switch turns on in training camp, and we have Justice Gaelic and his strength staff. They did a phenomenal job in guiding our guys, and then ultimately it's up to them, and they did a tremendous job.
John, why did you feel the need to add Jason Babin?
If we feel that players come in here and add quality depth, add competition, then we're going to do it. I think the question was asked not too long ago. Is there going to be a little bit of a lull? Do you like your team going in almost with the thought that we're done? We're never done. We're always looking for ways to help our team, and we felt like Jason Babin could help us. I had a little bit of experience with Jason together in Seattle, so I knew a little bit more about the person too.
John, what will your role be, if any, in determining ultimately who the quarterback is when the season begins?
I thought we addressed that one, didn't we? Everything we do, guys, is it's a jet decision. There's a lot that goes into it. So my role will be just like roles of key people on our staff. That we're going to take it minute by minute, practice by practice, day by day, and we'll make the appropriate decisions. And that's who's on the roster, who's getting play time, eventually who's starting. Those are going to be organizational decisions.
Do you think this is a better team now than the one that came here last year at this time?
Well, I'm really not into comparing. I just like the team that we have coming into camp. I think the guys are really focused, and I do believe that. There's always a lot of change year to year, but I think there's more of a sense of continuity going into 2014. Our two coordinators, our systems, the vernacular we're using. Of course, a lot of the young guys that came on board last year, they're the benefactors of knowing what to expect. They're in familiar environs, not only here in Portland. And shoot, when I came here last year, this was my first experience, so I think that all that lends to feeling better about it. But ultimately, it's about what we do, how we implement things on the field, and we really like what we've seen so far.
John, was bringing Jason Babin in up here. Sorry, was bringing Babin in rooted in any way over concern that Barnes' knee may not allow him to be ready?
Well, there's factors that go into that, and some of that will be, your depth for the moment. But I would say it's more about if you feel like a player can help you, that he can come in and he kind of fits what you do, or you have an idea that he could be really really productive for you, and he fits that the type of the style of play, the practice or preparation of what you do. If he can help you provide quality depth and thereby provide competition, then we're going to look at him. Now we only get 90. We only get 90, only 90, right? I thought I'd say that, but you know, we've got our limits. So you're going to do we're going to do our homework and have those guys at the ready that we think that they could help. And certainly Jason fell into that category.
John,
Why was there a delay between the signing or the agreement and the signing with Babin?
Well, there's a lot of things going on at that time. You know, we've had rookies getting ready to report. We had a few guys in for workouts, and not to mention that you know, from an operational standpoint, there's a lot of things going on the eve of training camp. But we just wanted to make sure it was right from both ends, and I think you know, to bring Jason in, get a nice full day so he can gain a feel for us, our staff, our approach, and then talk it through a day. And sometimes it's good for the player to go home, kind of stew on it a little bit, talk to his family back in Jacksonville, and you know, if it's a fit, then you go forward, and that's what happened.
John,
John,
just as a
what goes through
clarification.
your mind as you watch now a second-year Geno Smith operate, and then, you know, running the second string now is a guy that's seen so much in this league in Vic?
Well, again, I think I'll go back to what I just said before. Geno is the benefactor of his experience. I mean, for a rookie, and much less a rookie quarterback, to get 16 games in, and we all witnessed what happened. He went through the highs and lows. He finished on a strong note. He's never been involved in a full-fledged NFL offseason program until this year. Not only being involved from day one, but being familiar with what we're doing. He knows what he knows Marty's system and what's expected. Those are tremendous changes and you know, advantages for Geno and any, you know, second-year guy into the program. So, and yeah, I think you see it just in his confidence level, his comfort level with just you know, a daily routine in training camp. And what to expect in practice, you know, all the little things, individual drills, post-practice conditioning. He knows, he's been through it, and he's also been through the game. So when we're trying to structure things in a meeting, we're trying to do some things out on the practice field to simulate games. Well, he's been through it, so I think that's been a tremendous advantage for Geno. And as far as Mike's concerned, Mike's, you know, he's a veteran. He's not only a veteran in the league, he's a veteran with Marty. He's a veteran with this offense. So I think that you'd have to talk to Mike, but I can't help but believe that that's advantageous for him. He's coming to a new club. He's coming to a new organization with a, you know, new training camp and getting to know the guys in the locker room. He's been around. That's not as big a challenge for him. But coming into a familiar coordinator, familiar system, I think that bodes well for Mike.
John, he's transition and rebuild pretty quickly in the league. Do you personally feel more pressure at this point entering your second season versus a year ago?
We don't really operate under pressure. I mean, shoot, the NFL, if you want to look at it that way, we're a results-oriented business. You know, everyone's under pressure in our league. Every single one is under pressure. Clay Hampton and getting this thing set up correctly is under pressure to make sure that we're not distracted as a team. So we just keep taking steps forward, and we're not measured by, you know, it's been a year in, it's been 18 months in. We're measured by how we're doing today, and again, it's a discipline. It really is. It's a discipline to stay focused, right at the tasks at hand. It's a discipline to stay right in the present and not get too far ahead of ourselves, and I think our guys have done a pretty good job with that so far.
John, how will you evaluate Rex this season?
How would I? Well, again, I don't know that it's an evaluation, you know, in the purest sense that you know, we're grading things day to day. We just have we have a fine working relationship. I think Rex and I have the benefit of going through an entire cycle together. He handles the team extremely well. He handles his staff well. We have a very common vision, And by that I mean, the type of players that play and act like Jets. We have a common vision on how to approach training camp and approach developing players, getting veterans ingrained in what we're doing. So it's been a true pleasure working with Rex, and I anticipate that continuing.
John,
you will
last
have
year-
Calvin Pryor, first round. What are your expectations for him, and how is he meeting those expectations early on right now?
Well, a rookie, it's tough. No matter where you're drafted, how you come into this league. Some guys are they gain the benefit of first round, and some ways that can be a little tougher. You're asking the question because he's a first round pick. But there's, we had 12 picks come in here that they were going through some of the same things that Calvin is. Calvin's a quick study. He showed that to us, through the process before the draft, and now that we've had him through, the latter part of the offseason, the OTAs, minicamp, he's shown that one, it's very important to him. I can tell you, he is a football guy. That's thrown around a little bit loosely sometimes, but by that I mean he's got DeJuan Landry, he's got Antonio Allen, Jaquan Jarrett, Josh Bush, Montez Miles was here last year. He's soaking it in from his room, so I would expect him just to continue to progress. We're very happy with the way he's come in.
John, you said you expect to work with Rex for a long time. Does that mean you don't anticipate having to make a decision on his future at the end of the season?
We're staying right in the moment. Rex and I are staying right. What do we have to do this afternoon to make this afternoon's walkthrough the best? And that's what I mean by we have a common approach, a common vision that way. We don't get hung up on what may or may not happen in the future. Just stay right in the present. And if you do that, we both believe that the future will hold good things.
John, last year the quarterbacks pretty much divided the reps evenly here with the first team. This year it looks like it's going to be about 75-25 in Gino's favor. Why not, as the champion of competition, why not just open it up and make it an even competition at quarterback?
Well, Brian, competition is not only about quantifying reps, and even reps can ebb and flow. And I think you saw that last summer too. That you may switch up the workload from early in the week to late in the week, and a lot of that is just let's let this thing transpire. Let's see what happens. How Gino, how Mike, how Matt, how Taj, how they respond, and there will be a little bit of fluctuation in reps. Going into camp, we feel like we're going to give lion's share to Gino. And we'll see how he responds. And so far, he's responded very well. Some of that too is, Mike being a vet, and again, he's familiar with Marty. He's familiar with our system. He's been there, done that to a certain degree. Not with our guys, but he's an experienced veteran. So I think that plays into it as well. Last year, with the new offensive coordinator, a lot of newness, me included. I think it was a little different.
Is it fair to say Gino is the #1 quarterback on July 25th?
We don't look at it that way. We're not naming starters or #1s or #3s or anything like that. We will literally sit down, watch the tape. We'll go through walkthrough. We'll go through meetings. Rookies have a little bit more on their plate. We understand that, so we meet with them a little bit longer. And we see how they respond. So it's not about, again, I think that almost leads you to looking beyond what's right in front of you. And again, we're going to try to stay disciplined not to do that.
John, to clarify something you said earlier about playing time, what kind of input will you have from playing time for players, or will you let the coaches?
I'm not going to get into specifics, but I know. Again, I think we addressed that. Hopefully I corrected any misinterpretations there may have been. Suffice it to say, gang, when we sit down as a staff, that we go through everything, and by that it's a cumulative process. How did he come into camp? We already said that we've had a very positive start to camp. Everyone paid attention. I think that's a fine, isn't it? Paid attention to what we had, and they held themselves accountable. So You know, it's an accumulation of things. The nation. It's not just one where we're going to sit down and divvy up play time and name a starter. Let's get there. Let's let things play out and let's get there. And a lot of those things, a lot of it will answer itself in a way. You know, it'll be a byproduct of what's led up to that point, whether it be green-white scrimmage, whether it be our first preseason game against the Colts, or ultimately our opener against Oakland.
Why are you tilting it in Gino's favor if you're preaching competition?
We preach, well, there's, again, competition, Rich, is not just about counting reps. Competition is you know, they just got off of a conditioning drill. It's pressing each other in the conditioning drill. They go from a conditioning drill, take one of those nice little carts and go lift weights. It's pressing each other when lifting weights. There will be an ebb and flow. This is not, I don't think it's tilted at all. It's in anything we do, that you're there to make yourself better and make your teammates better. That's our mantra. That's how we define competition. In anything, if you have 25% of the reps, you have 2 snaps, 3 snaps, 9 snaps, 15, you need to be prepared that those 2, 3, 9, 15 are the best. And if you're not taking this rep, and your teammate is, how can I help my teammate on that rep? That's our mindset. So it's not just purely quantifiable like that, and reading the play time or the reps and drawing assumptions from that.
So you
John,
think
how does Rex saying that this group is farther along at this point than any team he's had here so far? How does him saying that impact your expectations for this season?
Well, I have expectations for the day, and I think the season will kind of unfold. I can't speak to the years prior to, you know, with New York prior to 2013. But I think what Rex means by that is we're extremely pleased with the way the guys have come together at an early point, have taken it upon themselves. You know, we have a veteran steering committee, and that was really by their design. So they've done some things, you know, just off the field and managing themselves, managing their own team, their own locker room, that tell us, wow, this is a pretty neat group to be around. I think we felt that last year, and then again as you lead into 2014, and we've lived a season together. We've been to camp together. I think someone told me over half of our roster hadn't been to Cortland before, so the other half guiding them through. When you have that time together, I think that helps too. That helps everyone know what to expect, know what Rex is trying to get across, and we feel good about it. So I'm not surprised by Rex's sentiments.
John, with quarterbacks, you say you want to let it play out. You don't want to name one or two. Why then do you think some of the players seem to be taking the opposite approach? David Nelson said yesterday he thinks it's Gino's team. Vic himself has said it's not really open, and that he is trying to help Gino get ready for what he's about to face.
Well, I think, you know, I don't know. I define competition one way. I don't know that any such thing as closed competition. You know, that's almost contradictory to me. Again, competition is coming in and pushing everyone else, pushing yourself, and thereby you're going to be your best. All we're trying to do here at the Jets is provide our guys the forum, provide our guys the stage, give them direction, motivate them, and you know, when they're all in that way, you're going to see results, and that's why we keep saying, let this thing play out, and it will be quite evident to everybody. Okay, you know, and that said, there's always adjustments to be made in the National Football League, where it may be performance-based, it may be injury, it may be a sundry of things, but we'll just let it play out, and as long as, you know, everyone, it's not just the quarterbacks, you know, and it's even the veterans that have been around a while, Nick Mangold's, you know, the Brickershaw Fergusons, the David Harrises of the world, it's pushing them and them pushing their teammates, and I think that's why our guys really understand that. They're living it each day, so I think that's why we feel real good.
All right, thank you.
Thanks, Sean.
Thank you.
Thanks,
Thank
guys.
you, Sean.